Hello everybody, welcome to a Let's Look At of Final Fantasy Explorers with me, Flick. Square Enix were very kind to give me an early copy to play before release. I put about... actually we can check once we're into my file, I'll tell you exactly how long I've been playing. I put some time in, however I'm still counting this as first impressions because I haven't finished the game. It's very long as you might expect, given that it's a Final Fantasy game. Also, before launch the online servers are not up, so I've only been experiencing the single player side, which is not the full experience. So these are first impressions based on I think at least 10 hours of play, but let's just jump into my save here and see. I'm currently level 35 rather, and I've been playing for 10 hours 23 minutes. You have to take my word for it because it's on the lower screen. You can have 2 character slots, by the way. So what is it? Well, it's not a traditional Final Fantasy game. It's got... oh, yeah, activate CirclePad Pro, please. Oh, connection failed. Okay, I can do it from within. It's because I didn't press a button when I loaded the save. It's not a traditional Final Fantasy game. It's got quite a lot of Crisis Core in it, if you played that one on PSP. It's also got a little bit of Monster Hunter, I would say, and like a sprinkling of Pokemon if you play the single player side. But anyway, let me first of all get my CirclePad Pro active because I need it. Lower screen, CirclePad Pro. There we are. Good. So this is my character. As I said, been playing for about 10 hours. I'm currently playing as a monk, but there is a bunch of other jobs, some of which you have to unlock. And I think for the purposes of this video, I will show the unlocking process, as I have a quest to unlock Ninja and Bard, I think. Not connected to the story, just purely for unlocking new professions. But anyway, I've got the list on the lower screen, but you can see the detailed information about the class on the top screen there. So, for example, that's one of the base classes. Knight, Ranger was also a base class. Then you've got White Mage and Black Mage, but I've also unlocked some other ones. You actually start as a Freelancer, which is the Jack of all trades class. I won't spoil all the classes in it, so I won't bother going over all the ones I've currently unlocked. But there is a lot. I think there's 20. So that is a lot. So, if you have played a Monster Hunter game, this might be very familiar to you. You have your hub village where you can set your skills, change your job, and also take on quests. And this is the quest counter up here. This is the lady you speak to take on a quest. This is the gent you speak to, again, to use a Monster Hunter terminology, if you have other friends registered, you can send them on a Hunters for Hire type thing where you send out players you've met on quests. If you don't have any friends registered, you can send monsters that you have captured or created on hunts as well. I think I already have one in progress actually, so it's not going to be done for the duration of this video, sadly. It goes in real time. So, I can show you a little bit about how I'm set up. That's currently what I'm equipped with. I've got Rocket Punch, and then I'm wearing a Noble Hat, Kingdom Jacket, Traveler's Breeches, and then just a miscellaneous pendant that I've crafted here. What's more important is abilities. Now, abilities work in a very interesting way in this game in that you can customize them via semi-random creation. That's going to overcomplicate things to start with, so let's just go with the basics. I've got a Boost Skill, Explosive Fist, and a bunch of others. They've got numbers after them. I'll show you what that means, as well as mutations after we just show the basics of combat. We've also got a Fortune Teller here who can give you a random buff before you go out on a quest. We've got our Smithy here who makes stuff based on the items you find. And then you just have a general item shop which sells your potions, high potions, and also basic equipment. And then up here we've got the Moogle shop. Listen to this Moogle actually, it's very funny.
Cool.
I like the way he sounds. He appears every now and then and he sells rare stuff. He also can give you new outfits. Over here is the Monster Lab. I'll go over the Monster Lab after I've just very quickly shown you how the game plays. So we're just going to head out of the village, not on a quest yet, just so I can very quickly go over the mechanics of the game. So we'll just embark, roam the world, yes, we'll just leave the village. I'll show you the basics, then we'll go over the Monster Lab, and then we'll do that quest. And that'll probably be the entirety of the video. So when you aren't with other people, you can play solo, or you can bring along up to 2, or maybe up to 3 monsters actually. Monsters have a weight to them and you can't exceed a certain limit. So some of them have a value of 100, some of them have 200, and my current limit is 300. So anyway, I have a Cactuar with me and I can't remember what he's called. He's called Gill Snapper. And he's a buffing tanky turtle. He draws aggro, he gives protect and shell, so I felt he complemented me pretty well. So as you saw, I'm using the CirclePad Pro. I can use the shoulder buttons, or the bigger of the shoulder buttons, to sprint. Sprinting drains my stamina, which is the yellow bar up there, which is AP. Using your special abilities also uses that. Above that is my HP. The number that's flashing in the crystal that's currently 38, that we'll get into in a second. Anyway, I can hold L1 to get my, well, what I've made my more aggressive skills. So we've got like Explosive Fist here, got Aura Cannon, we've got Vacuum Wave, which is a teleport, and then I also have an attack buff that's... It takes a long time to charge this now because I've got so many mutations on it, but it's pretty damn good. And then on my other shoulder button, I've got more defensive / healing. I've got the Asuna spell to like cure status effects. I've got Chakra, which is a heal. Phase Shift, which is a dash backwards, but I've also mutated it so it heals me. And then Counter, which is probably self-explanatory. So that's the basics, and you might have saw that number in the crystal in the top left increase as I was doing some of those skills. So that's related to triggering, I think the game calls it Crystal Bursts, where you then get the chance to give yourself a random effect, and then depending on what skills you have equipped and what skills you use, while that effect is in effect, you have a chance of mutating the skill, and then you can choose to learn that skill afterwards when you visit the village. And if you learn it, you can have it equipped. And then you can continue learning more mutations, and essentially you take the base skill and just make it very, very powerful by giving it so many chances to trigger extra things. Like for example, for aggressive spells you can maybe imbue it with fire affinity so that it has a chance of setting enemies on fire. Don't self-destruct please. There we are. I'm locking on with R1 by the way. And I love this teleport skill, it's great for closing the distance, but now I also have a Crystal Surge, that's what it's called. So because I got over 100, I can now trigger a randomly selected Crystal Surge. So if I hold L1 and R1, it's giving me Rock Bottom and Twofold Return. So let's just do like Rock Bottom, and that'll give us a buff of some kind. And then if any of my skills are yellow, well, I picked a bad skill, none of my skills are yellow. If they're yellow, that means if you use them for the duration that timer's on the screen, there's a chance it'll mutate. And that's how you learn stuff. I think you can hold 200 mutated skills, and then it starts overwriting oldest first. If you've learned one, it won't overwrite that because it's equipped to you. You can also choose to keep certain skills so that they don't disappear if you are especially finding a mutated one useful. But anyway, I've shown off basic combat. I really should have countered that, but these are the first area enemies, so they're not really a match for me at this point. Thank you for haste, I think. Yep. So that is the basics of combat. Let's go back to the town now and show you some of the more complicated stuff. So that was just the equivalent of a harvest tour. That was just free roam. You go out and about looking for materials you want. You earn some gil as well. It tells me on the bottom screen that I earned 439 gil because I didn't exactly do very much there. I haven't tried many other classes. I started as Freelancer, tried that a little bit. I also tried another class I unlocked that I won't say because it might be a spoiler. I'm more interested in unlocking Ninja, which is what we're going to try and do. I don't think it will involve fighting any big monsters. I can never remember how you pronounce Idolins or whatever, the word they use for what I would call summons. They're the big enemies of the games that you can kind of run into in certain places in the wild, or you get quests to go hunt them. The first few you're given are pretty tame, I would say. I was finding them relatively easy. The second tier, though, of summons that you have to go fight, they are a lot tougher. There's a lot more going on in the fights, and as a result, they were a lot more fun as well. So anyway, let's talk to this lady, who is crazy, by the way, who runs the Monster Lab. See, with a laugh like that, I'm sure she's perfectly sane, but still. So, at this lady, you can create monsters based on souls that drop when you randomly kill a monster. There's a very small chance a soul will drop. So for example, it's going to create a monster here. I've got 5 goblin souls. I could also make a bomb, a vulture, a helldiver, turtles, adamants and lizards, etc. So you can do that. You can also fuse monsters together to increase their stats. These are all the ones I've already made. So I've got a bomb, I've got a chocobo, I've got a toad, Gale Snapper you saw me using, a lizard, a centurion, and then a Cactuar that I was also using. So you see the load there, that's the load they take when you make a team. So if I go to manage monsters, the load for Gale Snapper is 200, Cactuar is 100, and my load cap is 300. You can also have a roster of up to 100 monsters, so there's a lot to find and get. I'm happy with my team the way it is though, so I'm not going to bother changing it, and I don't have any souls that I particularly want to spend gil on to turn into monsters that I can recruit. Keep in mind though, if I was playing online, you can't bring monsters with you. They're there to enhance the solo experience, I think, and also to send on assignments if you want. If you're playing online, it's up to 4 people, and you can all just kind of run around together on quests, which is going to be more fun, but I've been finding it kind of fun having monster companions as well. But anyway, let's take a quest and actually get something done. So I think I'm up to, well, I have access to tier 4 quests, but we're going to be doing a tier 3 so I don't spoil any story. Yeah, I'm up to tier 4. Apparently there is a total of 200 quests in the game. I feel like I've maybe done between 20 and 30, and that took me 10 hours. So there's a lot more of the game to see. Some of them are just harder versions of existing stuff I've already fought, of course, but you know, that's the way of things. So we're going to try this. We're going to do the aptitude exam to unlock the ninja and bard professions, and the goal is to defeat one yellow dragon. Now on my lower screen, again you'll have to take my word for it because I can't capture the lower screen in the way I've got this set up. You can, when you start a quest after a certain point, choose to apply some rules that increase your chance of better results for rewards, but make it harder on you. Like for example, tough enemies. Enemies have double HP and strength, or you can reduce your own movement speed, you can reduce your CP, which is crystal points that you use to learn skills. But anyway, I'm not going to do that for the purposes of this. Also, even though you have to leave from the same place every single time, very early into the game you unlock the airship over here so that you can start from safe locations that you've discovered in your travels via quests or free roam. So we're going to do that so I don't spend ages running. Yeah, because we have to run halfway around the world. So let's try and get... well, I can actually teleport right there. That mean it'd be a bit too quick though. Let's go from here. I mean, I can show off another feature of the game, which is using Magicite. So there is a capture mechanic for the Eidolons / summons in the game. For example, say Ramuh or Ifrit. You can capture them if you do a certain thing when they're almost dead while you're fighting them, and then that gives you the power to channel them. If you see the crystal with the number in the top left there, there's a bar underneath it. That will slowly fill green as I fight things. If that fully fills and you have a summon selected, you can kind of imbue yourself with that summon's power. You don't become the summon, but you get access to their signature attack, like say Diamond Dust, Hellfire, etc, etc. Where am I going? I'm going straight across here. But you don't just get the, you know, the flagship summons of any Final Fantasy game. You can also become iconic characters from the games too. So, for example, I think I'm equipped with... I'm either equipped with Lightning right now or maybe Cloud. I can't remember. I was trying them out. I guess we'll see if I can fill the bar before we end this mission. I'll try and use it on the yellow dragon that we have to fight. I've never actually fought a yellow dragon before. I assume it's just a lightning element dragon. I've fought fire ones and a different kind as well. So if you do opt to equip a Magicite for an iconic Final Fantasy character instead of a summon, you get their signature attack as well. Like, so for example, for Lightning it's Gestalt Drive, for Cloud it's Omni Slash, for Squall it's Lionheart, etc, etc. So I unlocked some more Crystal Surges. What's it giving us this time? Alright, well, Water Affinity's probably going to have a link. So let's use Water Affinity. So now if I was to use Vacuum Wave, there's a chance, you'll see in the bottom left there, it'll say it's mutated. Let's see. Yep. So Vacuum Wave 2 has gained the Water Mutation. So now, if I choose to go back and equip that mutation and learn it, I can give another ability to the attack. I could do it for Counter as well. Counter now has Silence, so if I correctly use that mutation against enemies once I learn it, there's a chance I'll silence stuff. That's kind of handy. We're going this way. I must admit, I'm so used to playing as Monk that when I was trying out Dark Knight I was using a different weapon set because they use swords rather than fists. I was forgetting what I'd equipped to what. I'm so used to where I have my Monk skills now, and it's working out really well for me. Base attacks aren't doing so much damage anymore, although I kind of have to rely on my skills, as in the equipped skills. I got slowed. Well, my Cactuar can do something about that. That attack is so great. So there is class-specific ones as well as weapon-specific skills. And certain jobs are more proficient with certain weapons than others. So for example, the Ranger is bow-focused. What have we got now? Hyperspeed, Eye of Medusa, Twofold Return, Bypass buffs. I don't really need to use any of them right now. Oh, hold on to them. Have they already changed? Yeah, they changed again. As long as you're over 100 in that number in the crystal, there's a chance you'll just get more choices. And that's the way you access the signature attacks of whoever your Magicite is once that green bar is filled. Currently it's half filled. So the dragon was just through here, right? No, the map's on the lower screen. Yes, yes it is. Oh, I can see it actually. I saw it behind the... Yeah, it's over there. Well, I don't want to fight it just yet until I clear out the Malboros. Or wherever they're calling them in this one. Oh, he's seen me. Don't mind me. Just gotta kill one more small fry first. Maybe two, actually. There's something hidden over here. Yeah. Oh, actually, there's a lot of them. Don't mind me. That gave me a lot of bar there. No bad breath. Thank you. Did the dragon lose interest? I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm just curious. Oh, we got a soul. So now I got the soul of, once it starts catching up with everything I've been picking up, a Marlboro. So now I can make myself a pet Marlboro, which might be a good idea for if it has bad breath, which I assume it does. Yeah, so dragons aren't that OP compared to where I am at now, so it should be relatively easy. But I want to fill that green bar, so don't die too soon. Rush to the standard attack. Yeah, I know I've got Crystal Surge. I'm waiting to try and do a signature one so it looks all fancy. We're getting there. It might die before the bar fills though. Maybe. If I do normal attacks, they're pretty weak, so... Oh, there, it's filled. There we go. Who did I quit with? It was Cloud. Alright, so we get the character's signature music. Do we have Omni Slash? We do indeed. That'll kill it. You can also just wear iconic characters' costumes, by the way, but you have to farm for them. So we've got a Howling Mage Sight, and more importantly, I unlocked 2 classes. Got a lot of stuff, earned 4,500 gil, I almost said gold, wrong game. So as we go back to the village here, just to reiterate, the game is 4-player co-op online. I don't know at present whether or not there's any limitations to that. I think it's Nintendo more so that does region locking online rather than third-party developers. Capcom obviously doesn't with Monster Hunter. I hope Square Enix wouldn't either. But you would have to wait till... Oh, I also got... Wait, why am I getting these? Why did I get Blue Mage and Machinist? I loved Blue Mage in Final Fantasy XI, so now I'm tempted to try that. Damn. I accidentally gave away 4 jobs instead of 2. Well, there's still more to find, and I didn't go over all the ones I'd unlocked. As I was saying, yes, 4-player online co-op, 20 jobs. They claim 200 quests, so I've not seen... Well, I've almost seen like a quarter of the game if I'm right about how many I've finished. And what's more, they're asking for a very reasonable price for the game. I think it is to reflect the fact that it's not a complete 120-hour epic journey where you experience an in-depth story with characters that grow. It's not a traditional Final Fantasy game, it's a different style, so the price reflects that at £23.99. It's also going to be released on the 29th, by the way. You'll be seeing this a few days beforehand. So anyway, yeah, I got a bunch of jobs there. Can I just change them without talking to him? I could if I wanted to, yeah. Yeah, so there's still 6 I haven't found. I don't want to show that off though. I'd rather show off quickly how to learn skills. So if we go to learn abilities here, these are a list of the set ones in the game. So Cure is very standard, and you've got Sooner, Protect, Shell, you know, all the basics, and then you scroll down the list, which is on the lower screen. You get to ones that are specific to like daggers, and then, oh, katanas. I guess that must mean those are ninja related then. Nice. Yeah, Hagakure, that'll be ninja related. Spear skills, axe skills, bows, guns, etc. They're all there. And certain classes are proficient with skills more than others. But we also have the learn custom abilities. So this is where your mutations appear, and you can choose to learn them. So let me see if I can find that boost I used. Boost 7. Was that the one I used? So then you can kind of see what mutations you applied to it. I can't remember if that's what it was. The only problem with it erasing the earlier ones in the list is I lose my position. Let's have a little look here. Was it a new explosive fist I earned? I can't remember. But either way, this is where you go to find all the mutations you've done in the field. And you can equip better versions of the base skills, and you can mutate them in the way that you choose based on the crystal bursts that you unlock. I'll have a better look off camera, I don't want to spend too long in here. So changing Magicite is also where you can change who you transform into based on which ones you've unlocked or which summons you've captured. Let's try out Lightning, because it's funny to turn into a girl. And rather than show off any specific quests or talk to the gentleman up there, because I don't want to show off any story spoilers really, We'll just go back out into the world, actually via the airship to save some time, and I'll go fight the very first summon that you get sent after. I wouldn't say that's very spoilerific. Where are we going for that? We're going here. The Hebat Foothills. Let's do it. It's a pretty basic fight as a result, so do keep in mind the later boss fights you get are much more involved. They don't have gimmicks per se, but they have features that make it trickier. And I've enjoyed all of them, even if I've found them quite difficult. The only one, actually no, the only one I haven't found enjoyable was against Phoenix, because if you're a melee character, it's just a painful fight because Phoenix always flies, and although I could punch with my normal attacks, all of my equipped skills, they wouldn't account for the fact that Phoenix was flying and aim upwards, so I had to just kill it with normal punches and it took forever. That's my only complaint. So whose soul did we get there? I think another bomb soul, right? Yeah. Atmalith. That's a word. So how have I been feeling about Final Fantasy Explorers in general? I've been enjoying it. It doesn't fully scratch that Monster Hunter itch. I don't see myself putting literally 900 hours into this game. But as a thing to play alongside, absolutely. I would imagine that the online is more fun than playing with just by yourself with the monster support, but you know, having these almost Pokemon companions with you that you can customize and fuse and capture, it's fun. And I think the fact that they've reflected in the price the fact that it's not a traditional Final Fantasy game is good as well. They understand that it's something different. And I like that the combat is Crisis Core style. I actually thoroughly enjoyed Crisis Core. It's the Final Fantasy VII spin-off on PSP. If you never played it, you played as Zack in it. And the combat is essentially like this. And that's what I really like. We've got another bomb soul. Those are usually rare, I promise. I haven't been getting very many at all. Let's just get more ore for crafting. I didn't really go over the crafting. It's, you know, you gather and get monster drops. If you have the bits you need, you can craft better gear. If you don't, you have to go get it. Simple as that. I'd rather just show off the gameplay, because that's really the crux of it. I haven't shown off any of the story, but to be honest, what I've seen of the story so far, it's like a basic Monster Hunter story. It's there just as a means to forward you to fight the next big thing. And I'm okay with that in this style of game, because it's more about the playing than getting invested in a heavy story. Now, if you are interested in a heavy story and that's what you're looking for, you're honestly not going to find that here. There's nothing to it, in my opinion. Nothing that drew me in anyway. The combat drew me in, and the mechanics of the game and it being quite fun to play have, but no, not from a story perspective. So if that's what you were expecting, then you're not really going to get that here. Most quests, by the way, they take like at most 20 minutes at most. So it's perfect for travel play, which is exactly what they're doing with like the 3DS Monster Hunter games. Make hunts last roughly short enough that they're acceptable for when you're travelling. And you will find that here as well. The way dying works in the game is interesting. If you get to 0 HP and you have a Phoenix Pinion, you can just use that to resurrect. I don't know if online your friends can resurrect you for free, but if you don't have a Phoenix Pinion and you die, you use up time to revive yourself. The time required to revive is listed in the quest details when you take it. I haven't seen higher than 5 minutes yet, so say, I mean, I've got an error because it's just free roam. And we'll be fighting Ifrit, sorry. I always pronounce it Ifrit. I know it's pronounced Ifrit. I don't like that pronunciation. But say I die to him, it'll offer me the chance to revive in return for using up 5 minutes of the time I have left. So obviously if you have no time left, you can't do that. And you would have to just fail. But that means that the fail condition is relatively small. Although I assume if you're playing cooperatively, you all share the same timer. So if everybody's dying, then you could run out of time pretty easily. I think we might be at the Ifrit fight now. Yeah, we are. So again, this is the first guy you're throwing up against, big, you know, summon-wise. He's not going to be much of a problem. I've actually already fought a harder version of him somewhere else. But it'll show you how boss fights go. He's pretty cool. Pardon the pun. Oh, I forgot my buffs. There we are. My own buff as well. I'll make that the last thing we do in this video. Hey there, Ifrit. I'm going to teleport you to you now. No, wallet. I tried to counter it, but he missed me anyway. Pummel. Oh, he's going after my turtle, of course, because of increased enmity. You will see him doing his signature attack numerous times. I don't know if it's related to things you do. You can definitely stumble enemies, you can stun them, you can push them over. I made Phoenix fall out the sky, for example. And you can focus down certain bits, like look, that's his left hand, his face, his right hand. I really should have dodged that, but I was too busy focusing on what I could target. Oh, I'm going to turn into lightning in a minute, you're going to be sorry. Rage. Get out of there. There we are. Oh, he's doing Hellfire, so that means there's going to be random explosions around me for a little bit. When you turn into someone via Magicite, by the way, you get full AP and health back. Well, I got her with, or got him with some of her attack. Damn. It's because I'm targeting the arm that I'm not facing. There we are. By the way, there's some very fun crystal bursts that are weird. Like there's a Cactuar one which is... It's 1000 spikes mode. It means you take 1000 damage from everything that hits you, but you also deal 1000 damage with every single hit. And if you get a crit, it's 10,000 damage. So it's a very risk-reward thing. And you get to choose which crystal burst you choose to ignore. Oh, I'm on fire. I should probably have done something about that. Hang on. Nope. There we are. Yeah, I've got my counter set up so that if I do counter something, I will get a guaranteed crit on my next attack. So let's do something about that with this. Crit for 2,600, that's pretty good. Ow, it's on fire again. Oh, looks like Effort's tired himself out a little bit, he stopped there. Oh, he did Hellfire again. To get your AP back, by the way, it just restores, but also from doing basic attacks you generate it. What have we got here? Light armor, super armor, slash affinity, critical star sense. Oh, I pressed the wrong button! I pressed where B would be on a 360 controller. Oh well. I've still got an ability. We can maybe mutate something here. Countered that. Didn't get the mutation though. Maybe this time? Oh yep, got the slash mutation. That's not going to be any good for me because I don't use slashing attacks as a monk, but whatever. And we are going to defeat Ifrit here. He had to get in one last good hit, didn't he? Oh, my Cactuar got him. Well done. Thank you for the haste. After the monster was defeated, that's probably fine. So I think that's going to do it in terms of what I wanted to show off. I didn't want to spoil too much. It is a game I'm interested in doing more coverage of though, so let me know if you want to see it. I'm interested in trying the online capacity for absolutely sure, and hopefully some of my friends will get it as well so I can do that. Alright, we'll just go back to town now. So yeah, this has been Final Fantasy Explorers from Square Enix. 4-player online co-op. The single player is acceptable, you get to take little monster companions around with you and have some fun. There's a lot of big monsters to fight. I think I can tell you exactly how many actually if you're interested. I think that's in a compendium once we get back to town here. And just check here. Assignment, license, nope. Notebook. Yeah, so I've seen 66% of monsters, but that's just monster types. There's variations on each monster type, like, you know, recolors that are harder. And as far as, yeah, Idolins, summons, I've seen 29% of them. So there's a lot more to go. And there's the effort we just fought there. I've fought 8 of them in total, and I've encased, which means I've captured the soul of one of them so I can become him instead of, like, you know, Cloud, Lightning, Squall, etc. I won't go down the list though because, you know, some of them are... Some of the summon designs in this game I don't like, but some of them are a really interesting take on the generic look of a summon. I won't say which ones, but some of them are really good. Some of them also have vibes from Final Fantasy XIV. But anyway, that is going to do it. Thank you very much for taking this little look at the game with me. There will be some kind of link in the description box below for you to check out for more information. And yeah, maybe expect to see a little bit more of this on my channel in the future once it's officially launched in a couple of days. My name has been Flick. Thanks very much for watching, and ta-ta for now.